Good. So now we know when I get on the ship, I can meditate. So that way we don't have to go through a bunch of.
Oh, did I show you like one of my new
Just let
favorite
me know when you
pictures
want to
that you've
go.
ever showed me?
Show you what? Who the what now?
I'll put it in the chat. If it'll load.
No, no loading.
This is one of my favorite
Seer,
pictures you've ever
Can you
shown.
feel the force at all?
Yes. But instead of opening up, I push it back down. The exact opposite of what you should do.
Out there,
You're
I
just
remembered
sitting
something about
there,
myself before the purge. It was painful, but like I found a piece of myself.
That's good. You're learning to embrace the Force again.
This almost feels
Why do
like.
you say that?
Because I know what it means to live without it.
Excuse me. The Exiles did it long before you ever came to the picture, lady.
Exactly.
So stuff it.
Do you know how
What's our
difficult
next
that
destination?
was? Wait, no, that's Mars. Like, do you know how difficult that was? I have to remember, like, there's different tones for my British voiced characters.
different British tones.
Setting course for
Exactly, like Marianne's
surprised
like, oh
Cordova
my
went there.
goodness, what on
You must have
earth?
had good reason.
And then
I am
Michelle's
staying
like,
put on the Manus once we
oh, I
arrive.
don't know,
Red
everything's
sunlight
just very
cannot be good for
interesting.
your
I
skin.
just love
This
everyone.
place used to be
How's
home
it
to a
going?
powerful
And
cabal
then
of
Mars like,
Force wielders known as the Night Sisters.
They use the Force? What, like Jedi?
and then America's like,
These
hello,
witches serve
sweetheart.
only
How are
themselves.
you?
Their powers focused on deception,
So I have
illusion,
British voices, but
manipulation.
like I said, I had to give them different
Sounds like
tones
someone
to
I used to know.
differentiate between them all.
During the Clone Wars, the
Marianne's
Night
easy
Sisters
because
made a
she's just
deal
an
with a Sith
angry
Lord who
British
betrayed
woman.
their trust.
And
In
not
the end, they were nearly wiped out.
I'm
in a
not
massacre.
angry all the time.
Dathomir is a deadly place. We should be careful.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Night Sisters.
I think out of
Coming
all
up
them,
on
I
our
think I have
creepy
the most fun
destination.
with Marianne because I
Grab
can
some
just be
seat, kid.
angry with a British voice.
Here we go. Sit in seat.
Sit down. Did you put your seatbelt on?
No.
Dang it, hun! You had one job!
No. I do what I want, and that is no seatbelts ever. Especially in video games.
If you go through the windshield, don't be crying to me when you're dead.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be using my elbow. I'll be completely fine.
Oh my gosh, have we ever told any of them that story?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you want the internet
Cal,
to know what
be careful
happened to you?
Well, I typed. Well, okay, I didn't go into detail,
This is a
but
deadly, dangerous place.
what is it now? Good to know.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I did a journal on DeviantArt when it happened, like shortly after, but I never went into detail. So they
You never went in.
yes. To make a very, very, very long story short, I was walking across the street in front of my house, and a car hit me straight on. Then 5 seconds later, I got up and walked it off, basically. And the whole reason I survived that was because instantaneously, I really believe that was God saving my life. He turned me around when I was facing the other way and put my arms over my head, so that way the elbow went through the car's windshield. And when I went to the hospital, they looked at me and said, you don't have any broken bones or anything. You're completely fine. So I'm like, a car hit me head on. I should be dead. And this happened at the end of this month. That will be 5 years. So
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years ago.
Yep, 5 years ago. I took on a car unintentionally and I won.
And the crazy thing about that was,
we weren't
if I remember,
standing there.
were you a little sore after it, though?
I was a little
Like
sore.
when the adrenaline dropped?
I was a little sore, yeah, and I was on pain meds for a week after that.
And I'm gonna tell them this.
Oh no.
While she was on that medication, she thought to do something, so she decided to pull up Kate, the Old Republic, and that's when she officially and properly made Ross.
Oh, was that it? Really?
Yes. Yes,
Oh, okay.
son. That's when you officially made Ross.
Oh, really? Well, I remember I started making the plush dolls because I needed something to do while I was lying
Yeah, you
there.
did. That was one of the that's
Can I
what was
not
one of the
grab
reasons why you
that?
did the plushes. But yeah, you like when you didn't make the plushies, you played the Old Republic, and
What is that
that's
thing?
when you officially made
Do I
Ross.
want to know?
Couldn't count on him being friendly.
Oh, I
Because
see.
if I remember, you played the first time, and you liked the Sith Warrior, and then you played it a second time, and that's when I think you officially properly made Ross.
Uh,
So yeet.
yes, I've been discovering how old Ross really is.
Yes, you did, Jay. So it was. I still remember to this day when you wrote to me on Skype that you're like, hey Masky, I got hit by a car. Like what? Me
No
and
big deal.
Strav were freaking out. We were like, what do you mean you got hit by a car? Like, what is this? Like, are you okay? Did you lose a limb?
No,
Like we were
I'm completely
freaking out.
fine.
Like I remember, like we immediately, like I still remember, like me and Strav were like, we are calling her right now and such. Like we were demanding to speak to you, and I kid you not, you guys. Ever since that day, every time like we have like a discussion where like what is it, hun? Like what usually happens for you to say that that
Just
line
use your
that me and
elbow.
or like where it's like I took on a car, and like I still love like how Straz's face, like every time you say that, like
He
she's just
doesn't
like
like the reminder.
she gets so mad whenever you
What'd you find?
remind her and such. But in some regards, I got revenge on you. Like, was it last year when that happened? When a certain incident happened to me when I was rushed to the hospital?
Oh yeah, I was not happy about that at all.
Oh gosh. So I'm gonna have to explain it because everyone's like, "What? Mashki was rushed to the hospital?" And I didn't tell anyone on the DA. Like, it was only my immediate friends and family that knew what happened to me. And by immediate friends, I mean you and Strap and the others. But anyways, I remember. So keep in mind,
Shoot.
like this was last year, right, sweetheart?
Yeah, because I remember I was still at my other job when you were
Right.
messaging me, and I was like freaking out over it.
Oh gosh. So what happened was, keep in mind, you guys, I was sick when this happened. So I could barely talk. Like I was like, "Hi everybody," kind of thing, and it was horrible. So I had that to deal with. So I wake up to go to the bathroom, and I can't do anything. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Usually when I wake up, I usually have to go, but I didn't. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go back to bed. And I
Can I get
felt
some help?
excruciating pain.
Grateful.
I was in so much pain, I couldn't stand up. Like, I literally had to roll off the bed. I couldn't stand. And I was panicking. I was
What's this?
scared. I was crying. And the only person I thought was online because of the green part was Kalma. So I was texting her, telling her my predicament, telling her like, I think I'm dying and such. And I was crying. I was looking on the internet. I thought my mom was downtown, so I was like, actually no. I thought she was on a lunch date with her friend. So I was like, okay, I just gotta wait till mom gets back and she can take me to the hospital and I can die there. And mom didn't come. And finally, I was like, I don't know what to do. So I looked up my conditions. I was like trying to pinpoint my pain and all that stuff. And of course, whenever you look up your conditions on
It's
the
always
internet,
like
you're
the
usually
worst
gonna
case scenario.
So I was like, I was bawling, like, I am dying. I'm literally dying. It's such, and I was like preparing my eulogy and like saying goodbye to everybody and such. So finally, I looked up the number to the clinic downtown, and I finally called someone and I told them what was wrong. I'm like, look, my mom is not here. The vehicle's not here. I am in no condition to drive, and I am experiencing this kind of pain. And just told them all my condition, and then the lady was so kind. The nurse picked me up, but I then discovered that my brother was still home, and then I told him my he's like, and then I told him what was wrong, and he's like, Tanya, I think your kidney. I forgot what I forgot what he says. He said something of mine was failing, and I started bawling. I was like, no, I don't want to die. But it was one of my major organs that he said, like, I think this is failing on you, and I'm like, no. And he was really nice. He actually helped put my socks on. My socks. And so I was rushed there. I was rushed to the clinic. I had to do tests, and where all the tests were terrifying because it was just like more and more signs that I was possibly dying, and I was bawling. I was absolutely scared spitless. And then my mom arrived because like,
Little
and
help.
then my mom arrived, and then I for the first time in my life, I was rushed by ambulance to the hospital, and I got there, and I specifically asked my mom to bring my phone so I could text Kelma and my friend Strav and my boyfriend and the others and just say like, hey, I'm dying, I love you, bye. That I'm joking, but I pretty much wanted to tell everyone what was going on. Poor Kelma knew, and you were kind of like the go-between for a while
Yeah, it
until like
was.
until I got to the hospital. And until my mom was there, and I was finally able to tell everyone what was going
Come
on.
back
But
here.
to finally
Something was in there.
explain what was wrong with me, I had a kidney stone, and it was the most painful thing I ever went through, and I never want to go through that again. Like if I remember, like isn't passing a stone like like childbirth pain or
It's
something?
supposed to be like close to that.
Well, now I know what it feels like to give birth. So I'm telling you right now, if I have children, give me drugs. Like I do not want to feel that again. But and the worst part is that the doctors weren't even sure if there was more than one stone. So I had to wait till the next day to get an ultrasound and an X-ray to see if there was anything else in my system. Because if not, I would have to been rushed to a city, which I was absolutely petrified of. But thank goodness there was nothing showing up, so I was in the clear and I could go home.
Thank
But
goodness.
yes.